Welcome to the Embrace Strength podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Crocker. I am an experienced trainer and active life professional. I work with people who are struggling with nagging pain to get back to the activities they love without fear of re-injury. This podcast is here to educate and provide value to you on all things health, fitness, staying active, and personal development. Let's dive in. Hello. Welcome to this week's weekly recap. I literally just tried to record this on my computer with my microphone like regular, but my recording wasn't there. There's something going on with the app that I use, I guess, to record. And when I stopped, the recording was not there. So I really want to get this done, so I'm just going to record it on my phone. So sorry for the less than stellar audio quality, but done is better than perfect, right? So this is just what we're going to do. So this is weekly recap number 9. And let's see, first week in the new home, in the new state. This was the first, quote unquote, real week that we've had since we've been here. Obviously, last week was all about moving and just getting ourselves here. And this week it was like, okay, we're here. Our stuff is here. Let me try to get back to some normalcy. We tried to unpack as much as we were able to last weekend, but if you have ever moved from an apartment to a house, unpacking a house takes a lot more time when all your stuff can actually fit in the house, and finding a place for things versus in our apartment, half of our stuff had to be in storage because it wouldn't fit. So that is the story with that. So I've just been trying to do a little bit of unpacking and organizing every day, and then obviously doing a bit more on the weekends, but that is how that is going. This weekend, we're planning on going to the beach on Sunday for a day. So I'm excited about that because we're close enough to the coast to be able to do a day trip. So very excited for that. And then Saturday will be some unpacking. Of course, going to start working on our bedroom because our bedroom is just literally stacked with so many boxes. I was basically working on the kitchen first, but I need to do some work in the bedroom this weekend because it's just a lot of boxes. This morning when I got up to pee, I literally slammed my whole body into a stack of boxes. I don't know if you ever had movers pack your stuff, but they have these big hanger boxes basically. So they're these tall boxes and they literally take clothes from the closet and hang them in these hanger boxes, and they're just so much taller than regular boxes, and we literally have a few hanger boxes, and so that's what I ran into. It was a whole body slam into the into the box, and so we were okay, we need to work on the bedroom this weekend. So hopefully I can kind of get that less of a mess before heading into next week. But yeah, so there's that, and then just trying to build some sort of a routine again. I got back to working out this week. I took 6 days off last week. Things were just way too stressful, way too busy. And so this week got back to workouts, which felt really good. And then back to work. Was having a bit of a weird emotional week, just with trying to get settled, trying to figure out what changes I need to make in my business and things like that. So just kind of felt weird emotionally, but I was talking with my mentor about it, and she reminded me moving is just a lot, so you have to give yourself grace because it's one of the most dysregulating things to your nervous system to move. Not just moving, the place that you sleep at night, but also moving across the country makes it an even larger change for your system. So trying to give myself grace there, and I basically pulled back on my expectations for the work week due to this, because I don't know, if you run an online business, you know what I mean when I say a lot of the work that you do each week is creative work. So not just captions, but like emails, podcast, general like marketing planning and things like that. And it can just be a lot. And so had to look at my expectations for this week and just pull it back a little bit. Like, it's okay if I don't have the regular like production as usual. But as long as I just keep moving forward, and yeah, so that's like one of the biggest things for me, honestly. It's just like my expectations on how much output I'm able to do. It's just going to take me a little bit to ramp up my output again with being in a new place and all of that. So that was a big theme for the week. And then the other thing I wanted to chat with you guys about is how I am getting plugged into a gym in person. This was something that was really important to me when I moved back. But I am extremely picky about group fitness style strength training gyms. And so I didn't really have anywhere to go when we were living in Buffalo. There wasn't a good place that was like within 20 minutes. And so I just worked out at home for the duration of living there. But finding people who also value their health and work out and like have similar interests, it is very difficult to find those people outside of a gym setting. And so we live in a much bigger city now, so I knew there would be more options when we moved down here. And so went and tried one out this morning. I liked it. I'm going to go back. And so, yeah, and I want to talk about how I kind of suss out gyms before I go visit them, because like I am not going to be going to like Orange Theory, F45, or Burn Boot Camp. Those are automatic. No, like major red flags for me. So not going to go to that type of gym. And then that pretty much leaves like CrossFit style type of gyms. And so this is a very nuanced conversation, but as somebody who has been strength training for 15 years, and I've been a coach for 12 years, and I've worked with people with injuries for 5 years, so I'm like very picky. If I go to a gym's website and I can tell that it's like old school CrossFit where you do a Metcon and conditioning, or you do a strength and a Metcon, so strength and conditioning, like every single day of the week, I'm not going to go. Like I know that programming is not really going to make sense. It's going to be more random. There's going to be no progressive overload. And it's probably going to be high volume, and high volume is not always better. So, that type of gym, I'm just not going to go to. But at the one that I visited, when I looked at their website, they have different classes for different days of the week. So what I mean by that is like they have specific strength only days throughout the week. And then there's one high intensity conditioning day and one steady state conditioning day. And so with that being said, I know that those like strength days, so they work in 12-week blocks. So that means on the strength days, they are going to progress. So like Monday strength work, those movements are going to stay the same across 12 weeks and it's going to progress, so on and so forth. And so that is a green flag for like, okay, there's progressive overload. Like this is probably going to make sense. So I went to class this morning, and it was a strength day, and we did single leg movements. We did some accessory movements. We even did some adductor work. And so I was impressed with that, and it was not super high intensity. And it was like just strict strength work. And so that was a green flag for me. Like we weren't only doing like bilateral stuff, it wasn't like on a timer or anything like that. And so that was refreshing. So I'm going to continue to go and just kind of figure out a plan from there. But here's how I'm going to approach it, because I know my body at this point, and with my history of injury, I know that I cannot only do general style workouts or I will experience pain. So, what I am going to be doing probably is like going there 2 or 3 times a week. And then the other days of the week, I'm going to be doing my own customized, mobility and strength work specific to my body. It's like really about my knee and my ankle, that need attention. And if I slack on that, I will have pain. So I know I need to keep that up. I know there are some other things like my hip internal rotation and, so there are some other things that I know I just have to keep on doing in order to remain pain-free. And I think that's super important to remember. So, if you've been like keeping up with this, I was experiencing some back pain over the past month or so, but I have been doing customized programming for 6 weeks now, and I feel much better. And like now that we're a little more settled in our new place, my stress is not as high. And so my back has not been bothering me, and my foot is not bothering me right now, knock on wood. And so to me, I'm like, okay, I feel good enough to be able to sprinkle in some of these group classes. In addition to doing some specific to me things outside of that, so that I can remain pain-free. And that's really important because there's so much nuance here in the group fitness conversation. It's like, if you are dealing with a nagging pain or injury, should you only be doing general things? No. But should you cut it out completely? It depends. Like, if I have a client who is like experiencing severe back pain that's been going on for years, I'm going to say no group fitness for right now. And we will revisit that conversation a little bit later once you are feeling a bit better, right? But if it is a situation where somebody is starting to have some nagging pain, but it has not become a chronic issue yet and is not severe, it's like, oh, we can probably keep doing some group fitness alongside of customized work. And I'm going to give you guidelines for those group fitness classes. And so it's not always all or nothing. There are situations where things are in the gray area, more nuanced, and like just right off the bat, there are a couple of movements I know that if they pop up, I know I need to modify them. So anyways, just a lot of nuance here in this conversation, but it's definitely not always all or nothing. And like, even with the clients that I work with, like a lot of them do still do group fitness, but they have very specific parameters. Some other clients I have, they're dealing with some more severe pain and injuries. They're not doing group fitness right now. And that's something they want to integrate later on. But for right now, we shouldn't be doing that, right? So just wanted to provide some context there. I plan on continuing to share, as I go about my fitness journey here, continue to share how I am balancing the two and how my body is feeling. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this weekly recap. Thank you for listening, and we will see what the next week brings.